Hey guys, Marjy here. Hope your Saturday is going well. Today we have a book chat with Rosemond Sarpong Owens. She goes by Rosie. Rosemond released a book this past, was it Tuesday? It was September 15th. I believe it was Tuesday. Apples in a Seed is available everywhere books are sold. We encourage you to look out for her book. And at this time, I'm going to bring Rosemond to the chat room. Please tell your friends that we're here. Share this with your network, and we're going to talk to Rosemond about her writing process, what got her to write this book. I believe she will be in the studio shortly. This is exciting. Thank you so much for watching us on a Saturday afternoon. Tell your network about Rosemond. She is a dynamic woman. She's all into diversity and equity. And at this time, we're gonna bring her to the chat room. I see her in her bright glasses. Hey, fabulous sister. Hi, Rosemond.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I see that you're looking your fabulous self in your glasses and everything.
Oh, hi, it's good to see you.
Yes, congratulations on releasing your book, Apples in the Sea. It must be a big deal. Can you
Thank you.
tell me how you're feeling now?
Really excited. I couldn't sleep the night. So I knew it was going to go live at midnight. I couldn't even sleep. I woke up and I started testing people in Ghana and in Europe who I knew were awake. And it was even early for some people. So I didn't sleep, right? So I've been on this cloud nine for some time now.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, congratulations on having a book, baby. I see that your book is doing well. Can you tell us about the process and where we can find the book?
Sure. So I'll start with where you can find the book. You can find the book on Amazon. You can find it in the ebook format, and it's also in paperback, and you can find it now. And the process was quite unusual. So I've been writing this book for more than 10 years, right? So since about 2006. And I always say, if there was a Nobel Prize for procrastination, I'm sure I will win it every year, right? So I would write bits and pieces, and it took me a long time. But something really happened when I was writing on the piece about Nelson Mandela. So, I've been writing this book for a long time. So when I was so I wrote about the piece about Nelson Mandela about 5 years or so ago. But during COVID, my TV wouldn't work. My husband was stuck in Ghana for COVID-related restraints. Nothing was working. So I decided that I was going to work on the book. And then when I was writing about the piece about Nelson Mandela, something happened. I've read his book, Long Walk to Freedom, several times, and I've been inspired by the book. But when I was reading it this time, during this time of COVID, he said that about himself, that when he sets his mind to something, he's very stubborn and disciplined, and he does it. So he recalled when he was writing the book. So he was writing it in jail at night because, the wardens, he couldn't write during the day, right? And it was a hard labor prison. So he would work during the day. So his plan was to sleep during the day. But he wrote 500 pages of Long Walk to Freedom doing that. So even when I was writing the book, I learned and I was inspired by him to actually finish it.
Wow, wow, wow. So Nelson Mandela provided you with inspiration. That's great to know. Well, viewers, I see that our numbers are picking up. This is Marjy Marge, and I'm here with Rosemond Sarpong Owens. You could call her Rosie in that fabulous white sunglasses. Her book came out on September 15th. Welcome to our YouTube viewers. Welcome to our Facebook viewers. And for those on Twitter, we also say welcome. If you have questions for Rosie, just type it up and we will be able to see it in this chat room. And Rosie will be able to answer those questions for you. Her book, which is her debut novel, is Apples in a Seed. And it was released on September 15th, which was this past Tuesday. She talks about 9 of her heroes in the book and how they inspire her and how it will help you also to be motivated. I read the book, I enjoyed it. It's a book for change agents. Rosemond is into diversity and inclusion, and so she wrote about Mother Teresa. She has. You want to tell us a little bit more about your book? I don't want to spill everything, Rosie.
Yeah. So the book is all about people who have inspired me over time. So the lives of Mother Teresa and Nelson Mandela. I'll leave a few for you to explore yourself when you do get the book. But it was to actually talk about human resilience and the indomitable spirit that resides in us. So we call these people heroes, but then it's very interesting that those same characteristics reside in us as well. Maybe not to a degree, but then there's something about them that we can also align with, that we can also see ourselves. So the book happened by accident. So I didn't set up to write a book, I met one particular person who actually moved me a lot. And the situation in which I met this individual, she was one of about 22,000 people that I met. And she, out of all of those, stood out to me. And so I thought about her regularly, and particularly about a child that she had born at that time. And it was some of her questions to me that actually got me thinking about the book Apples in a Seed. So what I knew then in about 2006 was that the book was going to be called Apples in a Seed, but I didn't know what shape or form it was going to take.
Wow, so you knew the title even before you finished the book. Now we're going to go back to talking, but I just wanted you to know that you have some people who are loving on you. Bertha Ayi says, "Go, Rosemond, so proud of you." And
oh, hey, that's me.
Yes. She's watching from Facebook. And Methia is also watching from Facebook. She says, "Congratulations, big sis. The Sarpong family is so proud of you."
Oh, she's my baby sister. Oh, that's amazing. They stayed
Yes,
up to
yes,
what? Thank you so
yes,
much.
yes. Yeah, so you have some fans out there, which is really great. Now, you said that the title came to you even before you finished the book. So, what is the meaning of apples in a seed? Can you tell us?
Yeah. So I don't remember when I heard it, but when I heard it, it struck some sort of a chord with me. So so the saying that the book's title is gleaned from goes like this: you can count the seeds in an apple, but you can't count the apples in a seed. So I use that as a metaphor for potential. You know, Shakespeare said, "There's no art to find a mind's construction in the face." There is no way I can look at you, Marge, and say, "Marge, tomorrow or next week or in 2025, this is what is going to happen." We don't know. I think we pretend like we do. So using the metaphor for apples and potential, I wanted to say that you can never tell how many apples will come out of one seed. It is that same way that you can't tell us at birth who we are going to be, right? So using that as a potential, and a special call out to women, and a special call out to single women, because this woman who inspired me to write this book was a single woman. So she was a single woman who didn't think that anything good that was going to happen to her, or because from historic her. But then here she had the promise of this beautiful baby boy, and it was almost as if she was going to say that, I don't know, my life, you know. So I used to work in a hospital setting, and it was very interesting. The nurses would call me to go to a patient's room at times to do work, right? I used to do paperwork and stuff like that. But at times they would say to me, Rosemond, go see the patient in room so and so. She might need a little bit of encouragement, you know. So when the nurses sent me to this room, they sent me to that room to do two things: to help her with her paperwork and also to encourage her. So then the conversation, how can I encourage her? Because when she said that her life didn't amount to anything, like something in my heart just dropped. So you know, I had to go back to the nursing station and come back so that I could regain my composure and pretend I was going to pick up something. So then I probably said some prayer in my head, and I came back to her. She was really nice. She asked me to sit down, and I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but anytime I go to a patient's room, I'll ask them about themselves, and I'm not supposed to do that, but I did that anyway. But she was really nice, and she proceeded to tell me about her life story, and so it was like the trajectory of her life was not going anywhere. But then she and I had this conversation about this baby, who only God knew the potential of that child, even though she, as a mom, didn't think much of that child. So we had that conversation, and she was in the hospital for like 3 days. I popped in to see her every now and then she left. I never saw her, but it was very interesting. I told my husband when I came home that, you know, I met this woman. I don't know, there was something about her. So of course I love to write. So that evening I started, you know. And the only thing about me is that when I write, I can't even read what I wrote sometimes. So many books by my bedstand, by my nightstand, excuse me, I had written bits and pieces. But I knew that I was going to write. And especially for those of us who think that nothing good is coming our way, or nothing good based on the trajectory of our history, this book is here to tell you that that is not true. That only God knows what kind of potential that lies in us, and we should go easy on ourselves.
Well, thank you, Rosie. We all have potential. We're all special people, and God has a plan for everybody. So thank you for putting that in Apples in a Seed and for inspiring us. Your fan base is amazing. Aaron Mensa Pipra says, congratulations, Rosemond. We're proud of you. And you have people from all walks of life. You have some YouTubers watching you. Abina Ajayawusu is saying, congratulations, Rosie. And then Abby Otinya Boa is saying, Abby, it's exciting to see the book finally published and to hear you talk about it. I know I'm not reading exactly what it says, but you know, I'm in a different setting. I don't have my glasses and I have a face shield on, so it's hard for me to read. But you have a lot of love showing up for you. I am also proud of you and for you to actually go through with the process. And I'm glad that you worked in a hospital setting and got introduced to somebody who could even inspire you to write this book that you have out there to the world. Now, my question is, who is your target market? Who should pick up your book?
So if you look at that, let me tell you, because I actually wrote it in the book. So if you're listening to me, this book is dedicated to everybody who dares to dream and who have the courage to stick with it and see it come to fruition. And I know the publisher was trying to help me target, but I knew that this book was meant for dreamers like myself. And so if you are one in the category where you have been told that you don't fit something of somebody's imagination, or you can't fit in somebody's box, or you have been told that you can't, this book is for you, and it's only here to tell you that, yes, you can.
Well, thank you, Rosie. So Rosie is motivating all dreamers. I believe there's a dreamer in everybody. We all aspire to bigger and better things. And so thank you for writing a book for us. You know, that actually reminds me that yesterday we lost a trailblazer, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who fought for women to have a seat at the table. And, you know, her mission was to be a role model for women everywhere. And so I know that men can read your book as well, but it's good to dream and it's good to persevere because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And thank you, Rosie, for telling us that.
Thank you, Marjy, and thank you everybody for being on. I think that we need to be reminded of that because at times we forget. We forget who we are at times, and it's important for us to be reminded every so often.
Yes, yes, it is important for us to be reminded. And I want to show you what viewers are saying about you. You have Emma, who is also very proud of you, and she is watching from Facebook. And then you have Sarah. She loves you, Rosie. Yes, you are so blessed. And guess what? Then you have Marion, who is also saying that you are an inspiration. And I know your book is for everyone. So Tim is also proud of you. And Tim says, I've sure missed your sweet, positive, powerful voice and presence. Well, Tim, if you have missed Rosie's presence, just go on to Amazon, grab a copy of her book, and you will hear her voice through that book. It will be soothing to you, and you know, for our viewers, when you pick up a copy of Rosie's book, don't just read it, but drop a review so that others would know that Rosie's book is out there and they would see that 5-star review. I believe that the book deserves 5 stars. I have read it. And so if you give her that review, others would also know that, oh, this is a great book and let's support Rosie. Rosie.
Thank you so much, Marjy.
You are so welcome. You're welcome. I cannot even begin to tell you. Now you have Simone. You also have Nalamio Kor saying congratulations, Rosie. And you know, I know this for a fact. I saw Nalamio Kor not too long ago. We were at an event together, so I know she's having a very busy afternoon, but she still made the time to log on and watch you. So thank you, Nalam Yoko, for this sacrifice. Yes, yes, yes. There's so many comments here. Yeah, Rosie is a lot of women. I can see that. I can really see that. And yes, yes, yes. Do a podcast of this too. Well, Simon, this is going to be on YouTube. You just need to type in Rosemond Sarpong Owens and you're going to see this talk. Share it with your friends. You can find Marjy TV on YouTube. You can follow, subscribe. Rosie will be back with an update. She's going to share more nuggets about her book. And we hope that you be able to spread the positive energy out there so that people learn about Rosie. Now, Rosie, I have another question for you. You know, the heroes and the heroines that you chose in your book, what made you choose those particular 9?
That is a great question. So majority of them have been my favorites. So I love history. So of course, these are heroes of many of us. But there was some intentionality. So I grew up in Ghana, and going to school in Ghana, we don't do a good job of singing of our own heroes. So I knew of a lot of heroes from Europe and the United States even before I knew of heroes from Ghana. So I'm going to give a little bit away. Trailblazer, Madam Esther Oklu, that I picked for a reason. I was very intentional about her because when I was growing up in Ghana, I didn't learn about her in school. For one, she looked like me, and representation matters. When we want to see people that we can aspire to be like, and more often than not, we don't. So in my adult years, I came to know about her, and I loved her. So the heroes in the book have been heroes of mine for a long time, but I intentionally put in a few so that we can start stories as well. Because as Chimamanda Adichie talks about the danger of a single story, most of our stories have been told by other people. So it's very intentional to start telling our stories ourselves.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned Chimamanda. Just this past Thursday, I had a panel of women with me, and we celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month. And one of our panelists, Dr. Begonia Caballero Garcia, also mentioned the importance of sharing your stories. And so, thank you, and thank you for mentioning such a trailblazer. Now, viewers, if you're not familiar with Chimamanda, she's an author from Nigeria, and she's written several books out there. Look her up, pick up her book. I think one of her books is going to be made into a show, Americana. And so, okay, I'm hearing a beep, and I was wondering what it was. I'm sorry, guys. Yes. And so pick up Chimamanda's books as well. Let's support authors everywhere. And thank you, Rosie, for mentioning the importance of representation and how you wrote a book because you want people to know that they can aspire to be like to be like a person who looks like you. So now, is your book, are all your heroes people who look like you then?
Nope. So another thing about me is I'm an inclusionist. So, and I'm an intentional inclusionist, and I try to surround myself with people from every color, creed, from every background, and I think it's very important to be intentional about that. The world right now is global. We cannot be people who are aligned to just a particular race. Of course, I'm a Black woman, so props to Black heroes, but I don't live in a bubble. Also, I live in an inclusive world. So I have heroes like Abraham Lincoln, and I have heroes like Fanny Crosby, who are not of my race, nor Mother Teresa, but it's very important for us to have a global mindset and for us to learn from everybody. I had an epiphany. So a friend's son was with me this past week. He's 5, and I was going to go for a walk with him, and then I tricked him. So on the meeting, so I wanted to come back, but I told him. He said, Rosemond, we can't give up. And I said, out of the mouth of babes. That 5-year-old taught me something. So because I said we were going to the park and we were halfway, for him, he thought that, may I remind this older woman that we don't have to give up. We have to stick to our goals. The whole point is that we can learn from everybody. We don't have to learn from only people who look like us. The piece about representation is important, that we are also represented so that kids will see themselves no matter what they look like. That is what representation means. But in a society that has tried vehemently to make sure that some groups are not represented, it is important for us to be intentional about representation. But it is equally important for us to be inclusive. Only when we do that can we be able to live in a world where the humanity of everybody is upheld. So I am African to the core, but a Pan-African and also a global citizen. And I am passionate about all these aspects.
Looks like Rosie is frozen, viewers. I hope we'll be able to get her back. Yes, she is back.
I'm right here.
Yes, well, thank you for sharing your passion about being a global citizen and for being a Pan African. I just want you to know that there is a lot of love out there for you. Mami Ajua is from your high school, I believe, which is Gay Hair 87. She is very proud of you. She loves you. Dominic is also here. Hello, Rosemond from Judith. Oh, okay. It's Judith, not Dominic. And you have a lot of support, Rosemond, because this is Cambridge International. I believe it's a school in Kumasi, Ghana. And so,
Yep, that's
yes,
my primary and middle school.
yes, yes, yes. And we have Kim from Facebook also being, yes, she says, thank you for continuing to be a blessing to me and to our world. So it looks like, Rosie, you have had a positive impact on a lot of people. And that is quite impressive. I'm honored to have you here this afternoon just to talk about your work. Now, about your writing process, Rosie, I know it takes a lot to be able to get a book out there. Being an author myself, viewers, I'm the author of The Shimmigrant and Same Elephants. Shimmigrant is a story. Unlike Rosie, who writes nonfiction, I'm a fiction girl. And I know it takes a lot. You have a full-time job with Blue Cross Blue Shield, right?
That is correct.
Yes, you're in charge of diversity and inclusion, I believe.
Health equity.
Health equity, yes. So Rosie is very busy. She has daughters. She's married. She's involved in a lot of civic activities. I believe that you have been part of Books for Africa, right? Yes,
Exactly.
she read Books for Africa. So she is a literary nerd, an inclusionist, a mother. How do you find the time? How did you find the time to write this book, Rosie?
That is a good question, right? And my grandmother always said that we find time for the things that are important. And we are all rich in time, right? So the rich and the poor all have 24 hours in a day. I think the important thing is deciding how to use your time.
Mm-hmm.
So I am an introverted extrovert, right? So I like to be out there, be with people, but I spend a lot of time intentionally. The key to writing or to being able to complete anything is to let who you are work for you. I am an early riser. So after 5:30, I'm not able to sleep much, right? In the past, I would lay down and try to close my eyes so hard to try to fall back to sleep. It didn't work. So then I do a lot of my business between 5:30 and 7:30 when I have to get ready for work. So the point is let you work for you, right? Who you are. So I'm an early riser, meaning that I'm tired by 9 p.m. Some people are late night owls who can actually stay up, right? But what I used to do before was I would watch the 5:30. I didn't want to miss anything out on anything. I watch the 5:30 news. I watch the 6 o'clock news, 9 o'clock news, and I'm thinking, I am not planning or preparing to be a journalist. Why do I have to even so you can save a lot of time if you decide not to waste it, but rather use it for good.
Wow. So you're teaching us about time management as well. That you're able to do all that you do, but you have that habit of rising early so that you can make time for your work. Now, thank you for sharing that. Viewers, if you are, if you have a passion or a dream to write, maybe this advice is for you. And it's not even just with writing, this is also with any passion that you may have. It could be that you want to learn how to knit. Rosie is telling us that it is possible to invest and do those things. We just have to make the time for it, especially in this day of social media being so distracting. We have to make the time to follow our dreams, just like Rosie has done. And yes, and maybe we'll be able to accomplish those dreams after all. Wow, Rosie,
So,
you
so um, so Marjy, I have a question for you because I want people to understand you have written 2 books. You are very, very, very busy. How do you do it? You
well,
have Marjy TV, you have different, how do you do it all?
Well, it's not easy, Rosie. But for me, I write things down and I have a master planner and everything has its own slot. And so there are times that I'm unable to do stuff because it's just not on the time slot. And I happen to do a lot of scheduling, and so I schedule things ahead of time and it makes things work. It's not easy, as I said, but we have to persevere. And there's a season for everything. You have to put in the work. And so I try, do my best. For example, today I had a family member who was actually participating, who was throwing, the Ghana traditional marriage.
Oh,
We were
great.
having a knocking ceremony,
Uh-huh.
and but at the same time, I knew that you and I had to do our book chat, and so I found an alternate location because there was a lot of noise where I was. And here I am in this alternate location with my face shield because I knew that we were scheduled to do this and I could not disappoint. And so I'm doing this. And then after this, I'm probably going to go back to that party and, get my to go jollof rice. Yes. So thanks for asking that question. We make it work. It's not easy. It's a lot of scheduling and planning. There are a few times that you do some impulsive things because um, as a writer, you know that thoughts can come to you even when you're in the shower, or so sometimes a thought may come to me and then I'll just write it down, or just yeah. Thank you for asking, Rosie.
So these are all great ideas, right? So I'm learning from you even during this talk. So thank you.
Well, thank you for the honor. Now, Rosie, so it is exciting to have your book out there. Can you tell us a little bit about the process? Was there a particular publisher that you used, and were they helpful? Do you have recommendations?
So thank you for that question. And when you had asked how I was able to do this, the first was that you, and so you also alluded to the fact that I am a very busy person. So when I am doing something, for me it's 100%. So for my job at Blue Cross, when I am there working for a more just and equitable world, I am there 100%. So having a publisher from another continent was really key. So I needed a publisher that opposite of the time that I work, so that I can spend my 6 to 12, like I always tell people, or maybe 6 to 5, or maybe 6 to 6 a.m., I make that work for me, right? So the publisher I used was Dark Public. And so Dark Public is one of the premier publishing companies in Ghana. So I want to give them a huge shout out, especially to Nana Redamwa. So you have to remember that I didn't know anything about publishing. So I remember the first conversation we had, but they patiently walked me through the process. And I know myself that I am an enigma, and a lot of people don't know that, right? So I can even go to the salon and I can sit down for about 8 hours and have braids. I'll have my hair braided. When I get home and I don't like it, I sit down and take it all out, right? Now, of course, that public didn't know that about me. To getting the book done, but when I got the edited version, the story didn't sound like I wanted it to sound, because I said, no, that wasn't the story I was given about 10 years ago. So then I want to give a shout out to my friend Judith. Knows me. And when Miss Judy read it, she said, this reads like a Wikipedia. There's nothing about you in this. So can you imagine that public was patient enough at no extra cost, waited for me to rewrite their story and infuse myself into their story, right? So a huge shout out to them that they were patient with me. And I think another thing is they knew that I was a new publisher. So if you're thinking of publishing a book and you want somebody who will work with you to bring you along, that publish the information on my Facebook page, on LinkedIn page also. Another thing you have to think of is if you are in Ghana and you use that public, they will do everything for you. If you are in the United States or other parts of the world, you have to learn a lot about the country, how to do marketing and stuff. And for that, you need to know somebody who has been there before. That is why it's very important that after Marjy has written 2 books and has been that you can call and day. So think of people in your circles who are doing this and who are also publishing, and think of who have published books and think of how best they can support you. But if you are a Ghanaian or a non-Ghanaian global publisher that can help you with the process, that probably is the one for you.
Wow. Shout out to the public and to Nana Aridamwa and to your friend Judith for helping you along the way. I am familiar with the public. Nana Aridamwa actually runs a bookstore with Elsie Dixon, who lives in Canada. And I see you got that snooze on. Yes. Nana runs a bookstore, and it's Book Nook store, Book Nook Ghana, and they do carry my books. He's very efficient. He even has shippers here in the United States who take books down to him. He is able to deliver whatever book you want around the world. I have read reviews that people in the UK have ordered books from Book Nook, and they have received the book in less than a week. So that probably is a one-stop shop. And so thanks for giving them that shout out. All the best to Nana Aridamwa and his crew out there. And thanks for the good work that they're doing for all these authors, readers, and people in the literary world.
I couldn't agree more. And a shout out to you too, Marjy. Thank you.
Well, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. We're in this together. I wanted to go back to the comments to show you some of the love that you have. Valerie says, well done, Rosie. You've had a lot of people tuning in. You have Susan also congratulating you. And here comes Bernard. I know Bernard too. Hello, Ben. Congratulations, Rosemond. Yes, yes. Okay, Ben, you're looking forward to reading Rosie's book. Look forward to reading mine as well, Ben. Find the immigrant and same elephants. Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, look, the amazing Rosemond. So, all over, everybody has a lot of respect for you, Rosemond. Now, before we wrap up, because our 45 minutes is almost up, do you have any message concerning your book? Do you have a copy of your book that you could show to us so that people would know what they're going for? Okay, Rosie, hold it up to the screen so that people will see. Guys, that's Apples in a Seed. That is Rosie's beautiful book designed by the Publi Publishers. Look it up, and don't just look it up. After you purchase and read it, drop a review for Rosie. Tell somebody else about it. This is the time to read about these heroes that have made an impact, these apples that came out of a seed, and you will be motivated. I did read the book. I was motivated. So I believe you will be motivated to be a change maker. So pick up the book. Rosie says it is on Amazon. In Ghana, as soon as they get their Ghana copies, it's going to be available at Book Nook store. That is Nana Ari Damois and Elsie Dixon's shop. It's going to be available at Boutique Ghana. Everywhere books are sold in Ghana is going to be available. And Rosie is out in Minnesota. The book is going to be in the independent bookstores in Minnesota. If you would like to get in touch with Rosie and you're on social media, please find her. Her name is Rosemond Sarpong Owens. She is easy to find. She is on Instagram. She is on Twitter as well. Find her for your speaking engagements. She is into diversity and inclusion. She is a motivational speaker. And so she will come and speak to you. And now that, with quarantine and everything else going on, don't you worry. She can meet you online. She can meet you via Zoom. She could meet you by Facebook Live. We're so happy that Rosie was able to join us today to officially show us Apples in a Seed. Guys, let's make her a bestseller. Share this video with your network. I see people sharing WhatsApps all the time of, different things that are happening. This is motivational, what Rosie has done. Share her work. Tell your people. Go to your WhatsApp groups. If it's your secondary school, if it is a university, it could be your primary school, share it, or your neighborhood crew, share it, your work people. If you're in the United States, your network, share it on LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever, just so that people will learn about Rosemond's work. And I believe that Rosemond has other plans. She probably has other books in the works. Do you want to tell us about your future plans?
So one of the biggest things, so I write on 3 genres, right? So I call myself a chief encouragement officer, a CEO, and because I believe that is why I am here, to encourage myself and everyone else through life, right? So I'm going to go on that inspirational line. So I have a line also and also as a D&I equity practitioner. So I've been thinking a lot. And the good news is I have bits and pieces of writings, like I'm always writing. So be on the lookout for what's next on the horizon.
Oh, wow.
I have a message for everyone. So let me know when is a good time to share.
Yes, 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 Rosie. Well, guys, you heard her. She said be on the lookout and that she does a lot of writing. I believe we're going to be seeing several books from Rosie in the near future, which would be a good thing. And she has a message for us. So, viewers, I'm going to remove myself from the screen so that you can see Rosie. Be engaged. Give her that eye contact, and she will share her message with all of us. Go ahead, Rosie.
Thank you so much, Marjorie. And thank you for everybody who took the time to tune in today. If you are in the United States, you probably heard about Mr. Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers, on the night he was presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award by the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences for his work on the PBS show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, said this, and I quote, "Here to this night. Some of you are here, some of you are far away, some are even in heaven. All of us have special ones who loved us into being. I am going to take Mr. Rogers' words and paraphrase it. Many of you here, whether you are my sibling, whether you are a primary school mate, a middle school mate, a high school mate, a college mate, whether you are a colleague at work, whether you are just a friend or a brother or sister in Christ, whether you are a sister from another mother, I want you to say to you, come to this place tonight. There couldn't have been an author, Rosemond Sarpong Owens, without your encouragement and support. So some of you are here in the United States. Some of you are probably rubbing your eyes around the other parts of the world, wanting to go to sleep. Some are far away. And of course, some, including my dad and my grandpa and my stepmom of blessed memory, are even in heaven. Some, like Luan Nyberg, is also in heaven, and my sister Rose Chavez is also in heaven, as well as my sister Lydia Sapon. But you all have loved me into being. So I want to thank you. And I want to leave you with a song. So this is my message for you from Apples in a Seed. The song is called Go Light Your World. As you think of yourself and apples in a seed, many people have had different renditions. The one that I love most is the one by Kathy Tricoli. I'm going to sing it, the chorus for you. Don't worry, I don't sound like Beyonce, or I'm not planning to be on America's Got Talent or American Idol anytime soon, but I want you to hear this song from me. And this is how it goes. There is a every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites a candle, and makes his home. So listen, carry, carry your into the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. You are unique. So take your candle, and there's a whole world out there waiting for you. So my hope is for you to take your candle and go light your world. And in closing, I want to share with you a quote from Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. and I quote, "If you want to be a true professional, you will do something outside yourself, something to repair tears in your community, something to make life a little better for people less fortunate than you. That's what I think a meaningful life is, living not for oneself, but for one's community." So, apples in a seed, unleashing your unique you. Take your candle and go light your world. Thank you for loving me, Rosie, into being. Thank you, Marjorie, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, Rosie. I don't know what to say. You still have some love here. Dela Kujiku, she's showing you love. Yes, see. Um, you got Stella Hatinokran.
Oh, mommy.
Yes, yes, she says congratulations. And Mafia says, Daddy will be so proud of you. I believe that is so meaningful. Yes, thank you, Mafia. Thank you so much for saying that. Yes, yes. Ah, Rosie, Nancy says you are such an inspiration. She is watching from YouTube. And we have another Facebooker, Marian Asabia Kankam Boydu, clapping for you. I believe she just listened to that rendition that you just gave. Rosie, thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for sharing your story. Viewers, Rosie cannot do this on her own. And so you going to have to help her. It takes a village to spread the word. So viewers, go out there, tell people about Rosie's apples in a seed. And together, let us help Rosie so that her dream of inspiring many can come true. I am Marjy Marge. I am the author of The Shimmery Grand and Same Elephants. I'm also the curator behind Marjy TV. It's been an honor to speak to you this afternoon and to have Rosie with me in the studio. I hope that you're going to tune in again next time. If you'd like to follow us, Marjy TV is on YouTube. Subscribe. Like our Facebook, follow us. We're on social media. On Thursdays, we have Humanity Chats, which is a conversation about everyday issues that impact humans. And then we do have book chats and other professionals that we highlight over the weekends. In October, we're going to have Abba Kato Anda, who is the author of the Hope Monger book. That's going to be a dynamic book that's going to address mental health. And so we look forward to having you back for another book chat in October. October is right around the corner, by the way. And if you're free on Thursday evenings, join us for Humanity Chats. This Thursday is going to be an emotional chat. We're going to have Tasper Ejekun. He's originally from Ghana. He lives in the DMV area, and he was in the hospital for several weeks with COVID-19. So Tasper will share his story with us. So, we hope that you will be back to listen and support and also learn about how to take care of yourself during this crucial time in our history. Thank you so much, viewers from Ghana. I know it's late. You stayed up. You love Rosie. You have done a wonderful job. Thank you for your compliments. We cannot wait to get the book in your hands. Viewers from the UK, hey, the book is available on Amazon UK. So go grab your copy. And, this is amazing what Rosemond has done despite her busy schedule. Minnesota peeps, go support your girl. I know Rosemond has sacrificed a lot for her community, and so I know that her community is going to love on her. Rosemond, as we're wrapping up, do you want to say anything else before we bid our viewers good night?
I can't thank you enough. Thank you again for loving me into being. Thank you.
Well, Cynthia Garcia is here. She's loving on you. She's coming from Minnesota. And so this is amazing. And I believe that you had one of your friends, Lisa Paris, who says hello to you, Rosie. So a hi back to Lisa. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, guys. This is amazing what you have done and for supporting, for supporting Rosie. God bless you. And we wish you a good night. And we hope you're going to buy apples in a seed. Good night and thank you.
Good night, Medase. Asante. Muchísimas gracias. Merci
Yeah.
beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you.
That must say.